Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Juan. I'm a yarn addict, hence the name Juan the Yarn Addict, and I want to thank each and every one of you guys for stopping by to check out my video today. This is a yarn and crochet channel where we talk about all things yarn and all things crochet, so if that interests you, please sit back and watch this video because today, my friends, I offer you another session of Whipping It with Juan. So if you're new here, first of all, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. This video here is literally designed to allow me to pull out one of my whips, work on it, and talk to you about all the things. So feel free to grab something to drink, something to snack on, maybe a whip of your own, and we can sit together and enjoy each other's company. So for today, I made the decision to work on my corner to corner. So let me slide back. So this is what I am working on right now, and I've already started the decrease here in the corner. So what I'm making are 4 panels. So the panels are going to be 2 feet wide by 3 feet long, and I'm going to be, 1, 2, 3, 4, like quadrants, And so I'm going to lay them out in a way that makes it look like, a diamond, if that makes any sense. So this is the first one here. Actually, this is the long side. So this is where I'm at. This is all made with 1 cake so far. And again, if you're happening upon my channel, my friends, I did a video where I caked up all of my scraps. So I have a scrap bin, it's a drum, and I filled it. And so I said to myself, well, I need to cake that up before I start putting more in. And so this is what they look like. I chose this one beforehand, obviously. But yeah, so I'm not all the way through that drum yet, but I do have enough caked up to do an entire blanket. So yes, this appears to be the halfway point for this panel. So I'm going to need 4 of these, and then once I join it and I have, the design that I'm looking for, then I'm going to go around the blanket and create like this whole section. I don't want to call it a border because it's going to be, more than a border, so to speak. But yes, so I feel like 2 cakes will be enough to finish a panel. 8 cakes will be enough to do 4 panels. And then we'll see what happens after that. But I'm using Furl's Odyssey 6mm crochet hook, otherwise known as a US letter J. And all of my cakes are 4-weight, worsted weight yarns. So there is that. And the color that I left off with was purple. So all I'm doing is just knotting it up like so, like this. Just tightening everything up. And then I'm just trimming the tail. I'm not sewing a single thing in. It's literally for the house, I'm not even donating it. It's going to be something to keep warm while I'm in the living room watching a movie. Nothing fancy. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and pull some of this out. There we go. Okay. All right. So for this corner to corner, I consider when I'm going up, it's like I'm traveling the stairs. And then when I go in the other direction, I guess it's also like going upstairs. I'm not exactly sure, but I call these stairs, and then the spaces, the chain spaces, I call them jug handles, because if you look at it, it looks like a pitcher of juice, So, the things I think. It's so bizarre sometimes. I don't know. Anyway, what I do is I chain 2, and then I do 3 double crochets in the jug handle. So that's my 3rd one. And then now I go into the jug handle, draw up a loop, slip to close, chain 2, and then I do my 3 double crochets in that jug handle, which is like the chain space, And so now I'm on the edge. So I go into the jug handle, drop a loop and slip to close, chain 1, turn my work, and then I do a slip stitch for those 3 stitches there. So slip, slip, and slip. And now I continue on. So what I do now is I chain 2 and I go into the jug handle. Since I'm decreasing and I'm not building it out any further, I don't have to do like the chain 6 or whatever, the chain 5. So that's nice. And the other thing I found out about, like, if you're doing chain 2 and then the 3 double crochets here, it actually tightens up any holes. It's pretty solid, and that's what I like the most about it. So someone actually said that to me, because I've made plenty of blankets corner to corner and I did chain 3. Someone said, Juan, try chain 2. Your holes will be like non-existent. And they were so right. I'm like, I should have been doing this a long time ago. What's going on, Juan? I don't know. But the important thing is that I got some great advice and I took it and I ran with it and I really enjoyed it. Now, if I can only remember the person who suggested it, it was a little while ago on the YouTube streets, actually. But yeah, so my selection process was literally no rhyme, no reason. I walked into the room. I have a metal shelf filled with these cakes that I've done. I walked right in there and I grabbed the closest one and came right in here. I didn't think about it. I'm like, it's a scrap can, corner to corner. You know, the overall intention is to just be very random with it. So, you know, I could have tried, I could have coordinated the colors, scrap can, but like all like cold tones or all warm tones. Nope. This is a whole hodgepodge of whatever it is that was within arm's reach. So, it's fine by me, friends, So, honestly, this whip wasn't even supposed to be a thing. I was in between projects for a split second. I mean, I had projects, but I said to myself, let me just do something for these Whip It sessions where every time that I come on to the Whip It session, I am working something like different, like the same, but it looks different every time you come to see me. And the first thing I thought about was, why don't I make scrap cakes, make a corner to corner, and then every time I come on here, you're actually looking at something different because the yarn colors change very frequently. It's a corner to corner. It's unexpected. You don't really know how it's going to look. So it keeps me interested, and it lets me talk to you guys about all the things because I don't have to count stitches. All I need to do is know where the jug handle is. That's literally it. That's the best part about it, if I'm being honest, So, yeah, that's why I really like these corner-to-corner blankets. Now, last year I made 3 king-size corner-to-corner blankets, and 90% of the time, I wasn't even looking at the project. I just took my time to enjoy the process while watching a movie or while watching YouTube videos, I found myself watching more YouTube as of late than actual movies. I don't know what it is. I mean, I went from spending most of my time crocheting in front of my TV screen in the living room to watching YouTube videos in the squirrel's nest. So, yeah, I migrated from the living room to the squirrel's nest. Oh, goodness. And by the way, if you are a yarn addict, right, if you're into crochet as much as I think you are, because if you're watching me do this while you're working a whip, yeah, we're 2 peas in a pod, okay? We both love crochet, and we enjoy what we do. We both have a nest. We have a place that we sit, and we crochet. It's our spot, We have a place where our hooks are. We know where our skeins of yarn are sitting. We know the order. We know all the things, right? So that's what I really enjoy about being in my squirrel's nest. I've cleaned it. It doesn't look anything like it did, It doesn't look like It doesn't look like I belong on an episode of Hoarders. Everything is like nice, neat, organized, which is nice. But I still have my situation, like, I have my whip basket, my hooks, my drink, my remote. I have everything where I need it. I don't know. I wonder if any of you guys out there have that similar situation, because I know there's different degrees of nests. Some people just have like a little spot where they sit. It's always kept so nice, neat, and clean. And then others, like myself, we leave an organized chaos. We get up, we go about our day, but we leave the organized chaos right there. And then when we come back to it, we expect everything to be exactly how we left it. That's me. Like, 100%. I said to myself, when I closed on my house, I said, I can finally have a nest, sit there, crochet for as long as I want to, and leave it exactly the way I left it. And it's all mine. So, it's my favorite part about having a nest. It's all mine. So, yeah. Now, I wonder, how many whips am I going to allow myself to have? Because I've worked so hard to get these whips down. I still have to finish the friendship sweater. I have the arm, one of the arms, I have the back and the front done. So I just have to do the one arm, the ribbing, the neck, I think. Yeah, so I have that one, and then I have the pink shawl, and then I have Sophie's. So I'm at 3. But you know what? Sophie's is actually a mal, I think, because on the 15th, we're going to be doing like the Zoom thing. So technically, it's not considered a whip. It should be considered a whip, though. It should be. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's a whip. Because I plan on starting a second one when I start that Zoom, just so that like the beginners have somebody that they can talk to about the stitches and things, and when they show me their work, I'll be able to hold it instead of like backtracking. I can say, oh, okay, yes, we're on the same round, and this is where you should be and not there, So that was my whole thought process about starting a second one, but, I learned from a friend that it takes about 200 hours to complete Sophie's average. I don't know if that's the truth or not, but you know what? It doesn't even matter. It's all in the fun for the experience of what it is, So this is increase 3, 4, 5, and 6. Go into the third chain. I do chain 3 for my jug handles on the ends, just so that it doesn't curl and that it lays flat. And it's turned out perfectly so far. So on the ends, I do chain 6, and then I skip 3, and then in the last 3 chains I do double crochets. So what happens is it lays completely flat, like there's no curling. I don't know why, it's how it is. And then now once I join onto my first stair, I chain 2, and then I go on about my business, which is super nice. We love that for us. So the shirt that I'm wearing was gifted to me by Penny. She's a friend of mine, and she lives up in New England, and they're supposed to be having this like huge event. The solar eclipse is supposed to like go past there, and yeah, so all the things are happening, in the line of fire of this like eclipse. So she got me this shirt. She got me 2 actually. This is one of 2. Love this. I love it. I looked at it and I'm like, it's so funny. I love it. Yep. So it says, holy cow, it's an eclipse, Vermont, 4/8/2024. I guess that's when it's supposed to come. Or not come. It's when it's supposed to happen. So I'll be watching YouTube and things to see if anyone posts the actual Eclipse, sorry. We'll see. I don't know. But I'd be interested in knowing what it looks like, you know? I mean, we could all Google it and see for ourselves, but like, in our day and age, we have technology, so the experience might be a little better due to like a recent event, you know, such as this. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like after it happens. But I could only imagine like the traffic. What is the traffic going to look like? You know, wherever this is happening, the towns, the cities, everybody wants to see. I want to see. Yep. I'm in Delaware, and there's nothing happening down here. So we will sit by and just watch the world, look at all the things all over the world. And when it dies down, I'll just look for myself and see what it looked like, you know? Just, I hope everyone's taken the proper precautions, you know? Because when you, expose your retinas to something like that, I mean, you're putting yourself in the lines of danger, you know? Anyone will tell you that. Like, don't look at the sun, you know? So, anyway, you know what I just realized? I just realized that I need coffee. I need coffee. Alright, so what I'll do is I will finish this staircase, and then I will go pour myself a cup of coffee, and I'll be right back. But in the meantime, look at the color change. All the color changes, right? So random. Love that. We love random. So, yeah, I don't know what made me think to do it this way. It just kind of happened organically. I'm like, well, I could do a granny square, but that's so expected because I literally do all the grannies, you know? So why don't I just do this? It's a little different, and it's fun. So, yeah. I just did a similar project, but in the granny square round. So the Just Yarn from Premier, the ones that you can get from the $1.25 trade. I bought a whole bunch of those, put them in a bag, and started a granny square blanket. And I literally just pulled out of the bag one right after another until I got the size that I wanted. And it took 15 skeins of the Premier Just Yarn, the little ones, you know. So I could have gone bigger, and I'm still considering it. I'm not sure, you know. I feel like every blanket doesn't really have to be like this huge blanket, you know. It's okay to be a throw. It's okay to be a throw every now and then, you know. But yeah, so I may revisit that. But for now, it's on the back of my couch in the squirrel's nest, right where I wanted it to be. And then the star blanket, I'm trying to decide if I want to do baubles around the border. It's a lot of work. Like, each individual bauble, it's so much work. So I don't know if I want to do that, just because, for one, it's not really my taste. It looks nice, but I like that for them, not so much for me. I probably will do like a picot border, or I don't know, something simple like a crab stitch. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm definitely going to be doing something along those lines, but yeah. Now, it was suggested to me that I go a little further than she did in her video, because I am 6.5 feet tall, you know, which, I mean, there is a point to be had there, you know, but I don't know. It's almost like once I've declared it a finished object, I should just like be done with it. But me being the critical person that I am, I definitely want to be like, okay, well, what can I do to make this better now? Let's not leave it sit in the makes room and then do what I did with the last project, which was pull it out and notice something wrong and then make a whole thing of it. So I definitely don't want that. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm just focusing on the now because I do have a lot on my plate this month, friends. I have mouths and cows. I have my own cow that I'm trying to fix and get ready for May the 4th be with you. So, yeah, I'll figure it out. Anyway, let me put this on a brief pause. I will be right back. I'm just going to go get some coffee. Okay? I'll be right back, my friends. Okay, friends, so I am back. I have my coffee in tow, freshly brewed. I had to wait for it to come off the pot. Dunkin' Donuts hazelnut blend. Tried, tested, and true, my friends, And I can literally drink coffee any time of the day or night. It doesn't even matter. That's how much I just love coffee. I don't know. Now, I tried the decaf. It doesn't taste bad. I don't think it really tastes any different. But I do notice a difference between the caffeinated and the decaf. I definitely prefer the caffeinated coffee. I love my caffeinated coffee, friends. It's okay, And I love drinking lots of it. Love the taste. And of course, I use sugar substitute. I use sugar-free creamer, so it is what it is. As long as I have it in tow, I'm good to go. But, with my projects and my WIPs and things, I'm just, as long as I have something to drink, right? Coffee, if not coffee, Diet Coke. If not that, water. So, as long as I have something to drink nearby, I'm good. So, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I have a couple of WIPs and WIP baskets down here. I'm asking myself, when am I going to get those done? I do have a lot on the hook for the month of April. It's a little overwhelming, but if there's a will, there's a way. And even if I have to hibernate for a few days in order to get everything done, I am determined things will get done because I'm doing mouths and cows. I'm going to double dip. I'm going to take the advice of some really close friends of mine. Well, double dipping basically means you're going to take a project and apply it to multiple projects. So, for instance, there's a make-along that's happening right now with Gary over at Urban Yarns. So, with his make-along, what you're doing is you are choosing a song, choosing lyrics within that song, and then you're going to create a mood board based off of the lyrics of the song. And then the colorway choices from the mood board are then to be translated into a project of your choice. So I chose the song, I chose the images, I have the colorway, and now I need to make the make, And so I'm saying to myself, okay, well, what do I do? So double dipping is, okay, I'm going to take his make-along, and the actual crocheted project will come from month of Bod. So that's something else that's rolling out on the YouTube streets. So Jax over at Creations by Jax, she rolled out month of Bod, and that's just to increase visibility for Crystal over at Bag a Day Crochet, for the entire month of April. So what we're doing there is we are taking, stitches, tutorials, literally anything from Crystal's content and applying it to our projects, and then applying the hashtag to that project to just, increase visibility with all of the things that, Crystal has showered upon us through the course of her time here on YouTube. So, month of Bod, just paying homage to Crystal and all the things. So, I'm going to go through her videos and find a project that I could work up that falls in line with my make-along with Gary. So, that's double dipping. And then I have my own cal that's happening May 4th that I'm preparing for. So no one likes to start a cal without looking at a finished product, So I'm working on that. And then I'm working on my rescue blanket that has to be to her by April 30th, which means I need to be done in enough time to get it to the post office to ship it so that it arrives to her mailbox by April the 30th. I can't really tell you what it is that I'm working on, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work considering what I have on my plate and what I have on my hook, but I am determined for the fur babies, for the pups, So that's why I'm doing it, and I'm determined to get that done. And then there's something else on my plate. So hooker versus hooker. So I'm one of the podcasters for Hooker versus Hooker. So in this whole situation, right, because I just learned about all this, you have two podcasters, and then you have two, I think I'm going to get this wrong, but there's two podcasters and two subscribers. And the whole hooker versus hooker thing is that two of the four are what you call pickers. So one picker picks the actual project. The other picker chooses the colors of the project, right? And so the pickers may or may not communicate with each other, Sometimes they'll be they'll work together to make it more challenging. And sometimes they don't work together at all. Like, they'll just come to the table with their choices, and then the two remaining people of the four compete against each other and make whatever it is that the pickers chose, if that makes any sense. So I am one of the people who has to make the project. So 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have the colors. I'm going to tell you what the colors are, okay? So the colors are pink, orange, tan, green, and blue, and you have to use all 5 of those colors that were chosen. And the actual project is Amigurumi. So I have to make an Amigurumi with those 5 colors, and I have to have it done by the last day of April. So it is now, the 4th? And I have not started on my project. Now, with that being said, I did pick the project. I do have it. I paid for the pattern. I paid for the pattern. It was $8. And so I need to just start the project, right? But I'm also a content creator. And the thing about that, hooker versus hooker, is I'm not allowed to show the project. I can't tell you guys what I'm making. I can't show it. The only thing that I'm allowed to do is show the yarns I chose. So I can do that really quick because I'm looking at them. They're right here. So let me just show you that very quickly. So here are the 5 colors for hooker versus hooker. So here is the tan that I chose. This is Loops and Threads Soft Classic. The technical colorway name is taupe. The color they chose was tan. Well, this is as close to tan as we're getting, right? So tan. And the next colorway for pink, I chose this colorway. So this is neon pink. And then the next colorway for orange, I chose neon orange. And then for green, I chose green. Well, what's the technical name? Let's see. It's called Ivy. So that's Ivy. And then for blue, just blue. So, for my project, I have to use all 5 of these colors. We are allowed to use embellishments and things. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to apply to my project, but let me just show you all 5 of these colorways together. So those are the colorways. I figured 2 neon colors, 2 like darkish colors for contrast, and then obviously the tan to kind of tie everything together. So those are the colorways I chose. Well, actually I didn't, well, they gave us the colors. We could pick any shade of those colors. And so these are the shades of the colors. Yeah, so there's that. So now I just have to get started. I have to work on it. But I have quite a bit on my plate right now. So one stitch at a time, right, friends? That's all you can do. And you know what? I have to learn how to say no. I have to learn how to be like, you know what? I can't do that right now. I have to shelf that project and really just focus on my channel and the projects I have going on. I mean, I would love to participate in everything that's going on the YouTube streets, but it's just not possible. You know, I have 2 hands, and I have a lot of things that are going on in my brain that, you know, Juan, you have to do this, Juan, you have to do this, you know. It's my brain. It's telling me, Juan, you need to do this and do this and do this, but in reality, I just have 2 hands, you know. I have to learn how to pace myself too. So, yep, there's that. And this cake, I know I mentioned this, maybe I didn't, I don't know, but this cake is working up pretty quickly, and I like that for us. Because it took 1 cake to get to the halfway point, so I'm assuming this cake will take us to the other corner, you know. And the midpoint of this is the longest, you know. It takes the longest because you're going all the way up and all the way down and all the way up, you know. So, yeah. Once you grasp the concept of the decreases, when you start closing in, once you understand like how to do that, you can make any shape corner to corner. You know, you can do triangles, you can do, obviously I'm doing a rectangle, you can do squares. It's all the things. It's all the things, friends. And did you guys notice, like, I am building a zoo over here. I have all the things happening. We have frog prints. We have aubergine back there. We call Jean for short. We have Raphael. We have the no drama llama. We have guac. We haven't gotten a name for this one yet. This pretty turtle right here with the purple shell. Michelle. Michelle. I don't know. We'll see. Michelle. And then we have squid. And then we have Chip and Dale. We just have all the things happening over here. So maybe it's good that I am getting into Emmys. You know? Well, not by choice, I'm being challenged. But I may actually like it. Who knows? I love a good pattern. So I love reading the patterns. Heck, I like doing all of it. You know? Tutorial. I mean, I don't need a written pattern if I can watch a good teacher, a good tutorial. I don't need the pattern. But I can read a pattern unassisted and get the job done. So we're good there. And with the Amis, you know, if the pattern's really good, I'll be able to get it done. The only thing is it might take me time. So I have a backup plan. So if by the 20th I don't finish my project, or if I feel like I'm not able to get it done, then I'm just going to go to my backup plan, which is to create something that isn't as elaborate or breathtaking as what I'm making now, but something to show when it comes time to show something, you know? So I would technically, I would totally be working on that right now, but I'm not allowed to show it. And I still have to put out content because I have people that, you know, tell me, you know, they look for my videos every day. So, you know, whether it's a Whip It with Juan or bagging or a review, doesn't matter. You know, people look for me. And so I'm dedicated. If people wait for me, then I have, you know, a personal obligation to at least, you know, put something out there on the YouTube streets for those who are waiting. So, yeah. And I don't mind that part, because a lot of the things that I do nowadays, it doesn't really require any overhead, you know? Like the Whip It with Juan, I can literally just pick up a whip, sit here, turn on the camera, and talk, you know? And I do this anyway. Well, except I don't turn the camera on and, you know? Like, to wind down my day, I sit down and I crochet anyway. I would be doing this anyway. The only difference is I have the camera on and I'm talking to the camera. Whereas if the camera weren't here, I'd be quiet, watching YouTube videos. So, yeah, why not? It's fine. But yeah, I'm really happy with the progress that I'm making on all the things, though. Even though, like, I feel overwhelmed at times with all the projects I have going on, for it only being like the beginning of the month, I'm okay, you know? I just have to take a deep breath, like Jax tells me. She always tells me, take a deep breath, Juan. It'll be okay. And you know what? It's only this month, you know? There were other months where I had a lot of things going on and I was not overwhelmed at all. It's just the deadlines, you know? I like to not procrastinate. I want it done before the deadline. So even though technically a lot of my things have to be done by the 30th of April, I don't want to wait until the last day. Like, I want some breathing room. I want to be able to be done by like the 20th, no later than the 25th on everything. Definitely done by the 20th for the rescue blanket. But everything else, I'm giving myself until the 25th. Because I just want to be able to relax, you know? And, you know, in reality, like if I weren't on YouTube as a channel and I was just like a viewer, I would totally be able to get everything done, no pressure. But, you know, I put videos out every day. So, you know, I have to fuse that into everything else. And, you know, I'm taking the advice of all the friends. They're like, double dip, Juan, do the thing, and then do the thing. And I'm like, okay. I'm gonna do the thing, my friend. I'm gonna do the thing. When I get those little pep talks, it really relaxes me. Like, it eases my brain. You know, sometimes I get so worked up and I need that reassurance, like that voice. Like, you got this, Juan. You're fine, you know? Because I have my testers, you know, they're testing patterns for me right now. I have an editor that's waiting for the test results to come back from the patterns and things. So I'm waiting for that. I have all that happening while all this is happening. So, you know, I do have lots of help, so I'm very grateful for that. It's not like I'm by myself in a corner here, but lots of moving parts. Lots of moving parts, my friends. So, yeah, it's all a part of the process. I'm going to get used to it. It's going to be fine. You know, I will adjust and continue on accordingly. It's going to work out just fine. And this is such a peculiar color. This rust color. I mean, okay, I'm here for it. This is loops and threads. I can feel it. It's a thick 4. I love loops and threads for that very reason. It's a nice thick 4. Yep. I love it. It's so good. What colorway is next? I don't know what that is. I'll have to wait and see. You know, it's coming out quite nice. Wouldn't you say so? I think it's so cool. It's all the things. So I have to measure this long side and make sure that like, so I'm going to continue going back and forth like this. Let me scooch back. So I'm going to continue going back and forth until the long side hits 3 feet. And then once I get 3 feet on this side, then I'll start closing in and going this way. And then it'll be one completed panel of 4 panels. And honestly, friends, I could whip a panel out in like an afternoon, you know, consistently. Like this is the combination of 2 whippet sessions. You know, this one and the one before. Well, no, because I sat down with it for about an hour or 2. So I would say 3 whippet sessions per panel. If I were to just do it, you know, on video, it'd be like 3 whippet sessions. But it's okay. I'm not in a rush. Even though with the other projects I am rushing those other projects. I have to get them done. This, on the other hand, this is my breathing room. This is like my breaker. It's always good to have a breaker project, you know? So, yeah. And I will tell you, I've been doing so much crocheting that like, for the first time, all this right here is tender. Yeah, nothing about the joints, you know, just right here. And then like my elbow, like the muscle that connects to, maybe it's a tendon, I'm not sure. But yeah, just right here. And I think it's because of the way I'm crocheting and how much I've been crocheting. So I'm going to take heed to the advice that I've been given, you know, do a heating pad and all the things. It'll go away. I just have to pay attention to the advice that I've been given and just keep pushing, you know? Anyway, I'm going to finish this row and we're going to call it a day. I really hope you guys like these whippet sessions because I enjoy doing them. It's such a break for me in such a much needed way that I can just sit here and do this and talk to you guys about all the things. If you guys have any topics that you would like for me to talk about, I can definitely do that in the next whippet session. So feel free to sound off in the comments. I mean, I don't necessarily need to have questions, but if there's any topics you'd like me to talk about, I could definitely do that. I mean, because as of right now, I'm literally just babbling on about whatever comes to my mind. I mean, you know, whatever I'm thinking is what I'm saying. You know, no rhyme or reason. Just doing the things. Having all the fun. So, yeah. We're almost there, friends. And guess what? I think we're about to get into another color. Is that white? I can't tell. It looks like white. When you see all the colors, it all just stops making sense. It stops making sense, my friends. It might be white, it may be mist, it might be like a petal white with like a twinge of pink. I don't know. Yeah, this is white. Is it? Yeah. I had to second guess myself. Is it really white or is it like a light gray? It's fine, whatever it is. It's yarn. It's yarn, friends. And I'm almost at the corner. And then I want to measure this very quickly. Because if I'm at 3 feet, friends, the next time I sit down with this cake, I'm going to start decreasing. And then it's going to close up and be done very quickly. Which is nice for me, you know. Let's see, how many more squares do we have? We have like 5 squares. Not too bad. Anyway, while I finish this up, I'll just talk about all the things very quickly. So if you liked this video, if you like sitting with me, working on your whips or whatever the case may be. Feel free to give me a like. I would really appreciate that. Check to see if you're subscribed to my channel. If not, maybe watch a few of the other videos. Maybe I can earn your subscription. They're free. To subscribe is free. I'd love to have you hang around and watch all the videos and maybe get some inspiration. And then I go live every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I bring my mom on the channel. She's a deaf mute. She can't hear or speak, so we do sign language. And, if you want to come and hang out with us, hit the notification bell and you'll be notified when I go live. And it would be great to see you come by and say hi. So, as I finish up this project right here, yeah, that's going to be it for this session. Okay. It's perfect. Okay, friends. So, that is it for this one, my friends. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, do all the things. Okay? And until the next one, friends, I'll see ya. Take care. Bye-bye.